What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Empty the Benches, another Nick and Nick episode for you. Mac is still overseas in Germany. Last I checked, he was at the largest model train exhibit on the planet, so I don't know if he's coming home anytime soon. He might just be having too much fun over there playing with trains, but Bowins, what's going on, my buddy? Good to have you again.
Happy to be here back to back, coming off of kicking your ass in fantasy hockey last week, so that's a great
Correct.
feeling. Let's get into it.
Yeah, you actually got my hopes up for a little bit. That was one of the closer matchups I've had recently. It's just been bad injury-wise, and of course, they're just guys you can't drop when they're injured. So, not been fun looking to get off the schneid this week, but it was one of those, Monday nights where you open up the app and you're like, I should be doing pretty good. And like the guy you're playing against already has 40 points on a Monday, and you're like, great, it's going to be one of those. Can't wait.
Yeah, what do you mean that third line center got 9 points tonight? And I'm already...
No, exactly. Like, how did two of your goalies have shutouts on the same night? Like, that's ridiculous. But yeah. We move on. I want to kick off this episode with a Mount Rushmore. You know, we love Mount Rushmores here. We love ranking things here. So, interesting one for you and I. So, Mount Rushmore of our all-time favorite players that did not play for our favorite team. So, for you, no Maple Leafs. For me, no Capitals. You're the guest. Why don't you get us started with your first pick?
It's a fabulous question, and a lot of time and thought went into it, if we're being honest here. Kind of a cop-out because you're the Caps guy, but I loved Ovechkin growing up. You know that. I said that probably every time I've come on this show. The Leafs were so bad when I was a kid, and he was so fun and exciting that I always just loved him. So Alex Ovechkin is kind of clear-cut on my list there. Again, love my D-man, love an offensive D-man. I thought about Carlson. I thought about a good old Mike Green, but for me, it's Lidstrom. I used to just watch his highlights.
So good.
So good. He has to be there for me. But also Niedermeyer. I love up. Like I love hearing all the stories now on like Chicklets and stuff of when they're just like, yeah, that guy would never sweat and he would just play 40 minutes a night and never
just
turn
so
over.
Cool.
And it's so cool because like I feel like I realized that as like I don't know 7-year-old when he was just buzzing around, and it's like, oh, that guy looks different out here. And now to hear like all these guys that played with him or against him say it, so cool. So for me, Ovi, Lidstrom, Niedermeyer, and then I really went around and around. I was like, do I get a goalie in the mix? Do I need another forward? I don't know what to do. Oshie's up there. I love that guy.
Figured that was coming at some point.
Iginla is sneaky for me too.
Yeah.
Like absolutely love that guy. I think he would obviously be so good today. He was so good back then, but such a lightning rod in today's game, the way that he played. But it's clean, and like the physicality he brought was awesome. So long story short, I went around and around and around, and I ultimately decided Peter Forsberg.
Oh, that's a great one.
I just love the reverse hits, the toe drags, the Swedish crocs, everything about Fopa. I love Peter Forsberg. He's got to be on there.
That's a great list. Like, I really can't refute any of the picks you just made. And I'm really glad you didn't take any of mine. I was very nervous about that. But for me, I think first, right off the bat, Mr. Highlight Reel himself, Pavel Datsyuk. I mean, is that the greatest highlight tape of all time? I saw the Kachuk brothers talking about this the other day. It has to be up there for me for just the most absurd things that like one pro athlete is doing to other pro athletes, where you're like, oh my God, he is so far ahead of the rest of you. It's just not even close.
Yeah, he's so good. I have a signed Datsyuk jersey at home, and that's like my prized possession. And he was really close for me, but I was like, if I keep Lidstrom, I can't go to Red Wings because then I'm a closet Red Wings fan. But
right,
fabulous choice by you, my friend.
Nice. I actually am going to go with 2 Red Wings, but this guy did play with another team, so it is okay. He actually tormented the Washington Capitals in the 1990s, but Mr. Sty himself, Sergei Fedorov, a guy that, growing up in like the late 90s, early 2000s, hearing the stories of him just like showing up to the rink and they're like, hey, we need you to play defense tonight. He's just like, okay. And just, goes out there and is just a straight up even defenseman. Or, the games where he's had like 4 or 5 goals. I think he did one of those in the Stanley Cup final in 98 too. So, but just a highlight machine, the white skates showing up to the rink in the Corvette, sort of like MJ. I loved everything about his game on and off the ice.
He's so good, so good. And the hockey IQ, like you watch those old clips and like he's making plays that guys wouldn't think of today with
Yeah.
how far skills come along. Like hockey IQ off the charts, style off the charts. Another good pick, even though you're double dipping the wings.
Definitely. Next up, you mentioned Forsberg. I got to go with another Avs legend, and for me, that's going to be Joe Sakic.
He was right there.
Still to this day, I think this guy's shot is criminally underrated. He gets so much praise for his vision and his IQ and his passing, and he's probably passed up a lot of great shooting opportunities just to get other people to puck. But in terms of what you want a captain to be, what you want, like, in a game 7 situation, that's the guy I'm taking on my team 100 times out of 100.
Burnaby Joe, one of the best curves to ever exist, one of the best shots to ever exist. NHL 06, I still remember my cheat code like it was yesterday. It's just Team Canada. He goes forwards, cut this way, shoot a top shot, just like he does on the ice. That goal went in every time in 06 and 07. Sakic's amazing.
No, he's awesome. That I think just his Stanley Cup final highlights from like 2001, whenever they got Bork the cup, just his power play goal there is always going to send chills up my spine because he just puts it right past Brodeur's ear, and that's not an easy thing to do by any means.
No, it's not. But yeah, he's a legend.
Yeah. My last one, this was tough. I was between two number 9s. But I am going to go with Mike Modano, just as an American. That guy, seeing him with the flapping jersey in that classic dark green Stars uniform with like the star pattern on the bottom, especially with the Stars being pretty darn good in the late 90s, early 2000s, that was just super cool. So, whether it was, the NHL video games, or I think I had like backyard hockey with him on the cover at one point, it was Mo. You couldn't say no to something like that.
I mean, I can poke no holes in this list, my friend. What a Mount Rushmore that is.
Yeah. Who was your honorable mention if you had to pick one?
Datsuk or Sakic for me. Datsuk or Sakic. I think those are the two guys that I just like remember the most as a kid and like just like wanted to be like them or like needed to go get the new Sakic stick when it dropped. Like, in hindsight, I kind of wish I had Datsuk there. I'm jealous of you for that. I thought you were going to have Showtime, Patrick King. I
thought about it. I was between him and Paul Correa and Modano for my last one. Paul Correa, just because living out west when the Mighty Ducks were so good, it was so cool. But that's Showtime is a great one. I am a little jealous of your Lidstrom pick. I would have liked to have done that, but
dude, he's such a freak. Like nobody's even come close to him since, even though we have so many good D-men in the league now.
Yeah. And they showed him during the Global Series game the other day. I'm like, dude, like what are you eating? Like you look fantastic.
Yeah, dude, him and Chelios, they could still play if they wanted to, I think.
Yeah. Would love to see Chelly lace him up again. That would be electric. Let's go ahead and get into the meat and potatoes of the episode. Let's start with the Adrian Kempe extension. So 8 years, it's around a $10.6 million a year cap hit. What are your thoughts on this latest blockbuster contract?
Yeah, I think a lot of people, at least online, Twitter fingers, were saying it's a lot of money. I think it makes sense. I mean, we all know, and we can keep beating the horse about how much the cap is going up. I think the number makes sense overall. He's a phenomenal player. I think he's got 18 or 19 points in 20 games this year. Like he's a phenomenal player. He's a top tier winger in the league. The only thing that I'd say about it in a negative light is I just don't know what the Kings are going forward. Like if Kopitar's done at the end of the year, Doughty's getting up there, right? I love some of the young pieces, but to me, they're a team that's going to be kind of middle of the pack for the next couple of years, if not tailing off. I think it's the right move re-signing him. He's a stud, but I don't know the direction of the Kings the next couple of years.
That's a good point. I think their young guy situation is very interesting. We've seen everyone talk about how, Kopitar's, going to step aside at the end of the year, sort of going to pass the torch to Byfield. And I think Kempe kind of gets overlooked in that situation. I would look at it as passing it to both of them. I mean, they're young guys like Brant Clark. He's fantastic. We've seen him in person. Alex Laferriere looks great at times. So I think it's a really interesting situation to see where they go. I wouldn't put them too far out of the realm of maybe trying to retool. You would think they're going to try and at least keep pace in their division with the two other younger California teams really starting to pick it up right now. But I don't hate the number. I really just, for what's happening in the league, this kind of just seems like par for the course for me now.
Yeah, I think that's exactly it. Like this is following what every other team is doing right now. I think the only other thing I'd say about the Kings that scares me is Kenny Holland is there. I don't love
Yep.
some of his decisions. Like I mean, I love some of the young pieces. You mentioned Byfield, Fiala's still good and pretty young there. Love Turcotte. I think there's more to give there if he can find it. But then you look at the Kings D, and they've got Edmondson on the top pair with Clark, who we both really like.
Right.
They've got Dumoulin, they've got Cece. Like, of course, Doughty's going to come back into that mix, but they just have a lot of guys that I'm like, Joel Armia playing on the top line right
Yeah.
now with Kopitar. Kopitar is going to be done at the end of the year, like we keep saying. Armia is not a top line guy. Like they just don't have that oomph that they used to out in LA.
Definitely. I think that's a great way to put it. Speaking of oomph, let's talk about Miko Rantanen's ejection. So hits Alex Romanov from behind going into the boards last night against the Islanders, gets tossed for it, and then gets verbally assaulted by Patrick Waugh while he's on his way down to the tunnel. I believe the exact quote was, "Try that next time you're in New York and you won't finish the game." So what are your thoughts on, first of all, the hit and then the fallout that we've seen from this on social media?
Yeah, I mean, obviously catches a lot of eyeballs when it's as big of a name as Rantanen. Not a dirty player, not a malicious player by any means, in my opinion. Huge guy. I don't agree with Glenn Gulletson on a lot of things, but on this one, I think Glenny Boy and I are on the same page. Watching it in slow motion, I think Mayfield and Rantanen are kind of engaged. Mayfield skate clips Rantanen's. He kind of turns a little bit, and Gulletson says it. If you start to lose your balance, you put your hands up. Rantanen put his hands up. Unfortunately, they went into Romanov at the exact wrong distance from the boards. They're coming in with speed because Dallas is down one with, 30 seconds to go. That's a play that happens a lot, and they just unfortunately kind of hit skates, and then he shoved Romanov. I don't think it was deliberate. I don't think there's any intent. I know they said there's going to be no hearing. I think that's the right call. I also think the 5 minutes in the moment is the right call. It's a dangerous play that we don't want to see. You have to be in control of your body, but I don't think there was any intent or maliciousness, if that's a word. I think they got the call right. What'd you see?
I totally agree. I think 5 on the ice for that call at that point in the game, totally fine with that, especially watching it back or in full time like those guys did. But yeah, looking back on it, I would agree. You can see this is a game of inches. It's a fast sport. It is a collision sport. Guys are going to get knocked off their feet. Like you said, he gets tangled up with Mayfield, puts his arms out. I don't think he's forcing his arms forward to, shove Romanov into the boards. Like you said, he's not a dirty guy. I don't really think that part of his game is there. I think if he's going to go after someone, he's going to face wash them as opposed to stuff their face into the boards, head first. But yeah, I agree. It looked like a bracing motion to me. I'm okay with no supplemental discipline here. I think the 5 and the ejection and inevitably what's going to happen, those two teams play each other again, is enough.
100%, and I think Patty Waugh made sure of that, and I'll be curious what they do when time comes. Maybe they call Matt Martin out of the press box, get him to lace up one more time for
Right.
the orange and blue there, see if they can get some retribution. But no, I mean, totally understand the reaction from Waugh, but
Yeah.
I don't think that's a dirty play. I don't think he's a dirty player. I think it's an unfortunate one. You're going to tell him to be in control of his body, and that's what the major penalty kind of represents, in my opinion.
Definitely. Waugh just walks into the locker room before their next game. He's like, all right, I'm starting in net. No questions asked. Let's go.
He could do it. He could do it.
He definitely could.
Mac, before we move on, I think you have a word from our friends over at DraftKings, who are the proud sponsor of this episode.
Yes, I sure do. The NBA season tips off, and so does DraftKings' newest fantasy game. DraftKings Pick 6 is the easiest way to play for big wins, with every possession giving you a shot at real money. Here's how to play. Just pick more or less on 2 or more stats and unlock the upside every game brings. Pick 6 is available in Texas, California, Missouri, and more. New DraftKings customers get $50 in bonus bets with just a $5 entry on your first pick set. Don't just watch basketball, cash in. Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app now and use code THPN, that's code THPN, Play just $5, get $50 in Pick 6 bonus picks. Make the call, ride the upside in partnership with DraftKings Pick 6. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org in Connecticut. Must be 18 plus. Age and eligibility restrictions vary by jurisdiction. Pick 6 not available everywhere, including New York and Ontario. Void where prohibited. One per new customer. Bonus awarded is non-withdrawable Pick 6 bonus picks that expire in 14 days. Limited time offer. See terms at pick6.draftkings.com/promos.
Let's take some of your guys' questions. Let's go ahead and empty the mailbox. So first one up, which freak injury is more surprising to you? Eetu Luostarinen being out week to week after suffering burns during a barbecue accident, or Jack Hughes cutting his hand on a knife at a team dinner?
Crazy, man, crazy. And I think there's been a lot of reports out of like, oh, it was broken glass, or oh, it was a beer bottle, or oh, it was a knife on Jack Hughes. So I feel like there might be something to the story that they're not telling us, but I'm not in as much devil's lore as maybe I should be. To me, it's Eetu. I mean, you can't blame him for want to be grilling out there. It's probably a beautiful 82 out in Florida right now.
Right.
Got a day or two off. I'd be out there grilling too. Sometimes things get out of hand. Sometimes you dial that propane up a little bit too much. It can happen to the best of us. I don't think I've ever heard of it in the NHL, so I think that's a crazier one. What do you think, man? Both crazy ones.
Totally crazy. I feel like the Hughes one is a little bit more believable, just in like, if I heard that in passing, I'd be like, okay, I could see that happening. And that's mainly because the stories that I know you and I have heard about some of those team dinners, specifically rookie dinners, which I don't think this was, but we all know that those can get a little bit rowdy at times, you know, with some stuff being tossed around. So that I could sort of see happening. Yeah, the grilling incident is definitely a head scratcher for sure. I'd be really interesting to not only hear what happened, but what he was cooking. What do you think? He's a brisket man? Tri-tip guy? Maybe skirt steak?
I could see him being just like a fish that he caught that morning, just like right out there.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, just not the news that Florida needed regardless. Obviously,
No.
Devils are going to miss Jack Hughes. There's so many injuries around the league right now. But for Florida, already not having Barkov, I mean, that's a big loss for them right now.
It really is. They're really starting to rack up the injuries. And if you look at where they are in the standings, you're starting to wonder, like, if they don't get it going soon, what is this going to look like on the back half of January and February for them?
Yeah, no, I think, obviously they got the good veterans in the room. They play a good winning brand of hockey, but Barkov, Kachuk, Gadjevich, now Eetu, Noshek's out, Kulikov's out. I'm probably missing somebody else. It's adding up down in South Florida.
Yeah, those are the big ones. I think it's definitely getting to a point where I would be past concerned if I was a Panthers fan. Love this one that someone sent in. They said, both your teams kind of suck. Who should be more concerned at this point?
I mean, maybe this is biased, but I think the Leafs fans should be more concerned because the Capitals fans can at least say, hey, some of our best players are relatively young and we have a ton of prospects coming. Maybe this isn't a year for you or I, my friend, but the prospect pool that the Capitals have, whether it's Cole Hudson, I love Chris Stahl. I think he probably should have got a shot this year, if we're being honest.
I agree.
I'd really like Lyndon Lakovic, if I'm saying it right, just big, lanky Western leaguer. You love to see that. Parasak has a ton of points too in the dub for them right now. Like, they've got a lot of guys, not even including like a Miro or a Cam Allen. Like, I think the future's still bright in Washington with, Wilson, Dubois, McMichael, hopefully still kind of coming into their primes. In Leafland, it's pretty bleak after Easton Cowan, dude. Like, there's not a lot of futures in those cupboards right now. Matthews continues to just have mystery injuries that they want to give no timeline or clarity to. Stolarz is out. Carlo wasn't himself, and now he's out. Nyes is out right now, too. I think we said it last week. Tavares has been unbelievable. But aside from that, dude, like, the Leafs are in win now. Like, they don't have futures.
That is a great point. The prospect pool for the Washington Capitals is fairly deep. Eric Smetenko, another guy I want to put on there. He's been fantastic as well. I would agree with you. I think the Leafs fans should be a little bit more concerned. You guys are definitely, like you said, in the do it now mode. It is... I think the only thing that Caps fans should be really frustrated with right now is the fact that the Caps seem to be stuck at 2 goals. They either win a game where they score 2 goals or they're losing 3-2 or 4-2, and they just can't seem to get over that hump, and goal scoring is real dry right now. They're getting it by committee like they did last year, but Ovi has started to pick it up, but he's not going out and getting you 30 goals in the span of 2 or 3 months here like he did last year.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we touched on a couple of the names last week, whether it's McMichael or Lapierre or even Beauvillier. Like, there's guys that you just simply need more from when it is dry like this. You need 3 goals to win most nights in the NHL. That much hasn't changed regardless of how good your team is defensively or how many games Thompson or Lindgren can try to steal. Like, you need 3 goals to win most nights, and they haven't been getting it lately. So I totally agree.
Definitely. I think Ryan Leonard has looked great. His game has really picked up. He's getting a ton of chances. They're just not going for him right now, and I can see the frustration on his face. He had a couple great looks in that Kings game the other night, so really hoping he pots 1 or 2 tonight against the Oilers. So hopefully just, for a confidence boost. Young kid, had such a tough transition last year coming in the middle of the playoffs, and then now this is his first taste of, regular season NHL where he's kind of established a little bit. So just would like to see that get going for the kid.
100%. And, I think we both think he looks great. I think most people think we're seeing the strides, we're seeing the progress, but it does have to be discouraging for a kid like that who's scored at every level, been the top dog at every level. He looks around the league right now. He sees, Celebrini and Smith and Bedard and all these other youngsters, Carlson, some guys who came through college hockey all putting up the points, and he isn't. Like, it definitely does wear on his mental a little bit, and hopefully, and I think the Capitals have enough vets and kind of good presence in that room to keep him even keel and say, dude, like, it's coming, keep going, it's coming, keep going, because he's a special talent, and I do think the points will fall.
Definitely. I think a lot of people like to make comparisons towards him and Cutter Gauthier just because of the college connection there. And I think it's, they're in completely different situations. One's on a, Anaheim roster that's being run by the kids right now. The other's on a little bit more of a seasoned roster, like you said, with the Capitals. That's got Ovechkin and Wilson and Carlson, there to help you out or calm you down. So, hopefully we see something good soon because it's coming for the kid. You can just feel it.
Yeah, no, he's got all the tools. I think he'll be good here in the next month or two. I think these are going to start falling for him.
Definitely. Something else that fell today, the Winter Classic jerseys for the Rangers and the Panthers dropped. What do you think about these?
Dude, I actually kind of like the Panthers one. I know people are crapping on it online, but I like the kind of crackhead energy that it brings. I think that fits some parts of Florida. I like the colors. And honestly, like, I feel like there's so many Winter Classics and we all kind of gripe over them, but it's for the people in the building and it's for the fans of that team. So if Florida fans are going to buy this one-time limited edition jersey because they think it's cool and different and they've won the last couple of cups, so they want to spend some money on the team, like, that really should be all that we're thinking about. I mean, I know the couple Winter Classics I've been able to go to, like, everybody says online, oh, this is the worst product ever, this is the worst thing. The people who are there are having the best time. It's such a cool venue and experience. I think to the people who were, fretting on Twitter today over these, the Winter Classic isn't for everybody. It's for the fans of those two teams who are going to be in the building. But I like the jerseys.
Yeah, I think the Rangers, they do a great job when they're boxed in. All those original 6 teams are boxed in when you have to do a jersey like this, a reverse retro, because you really can't deviate all that much from what you already did or else you're really going to piss everyone off. So theirs is clean. I think it'll look great under the lights or outside or whatever. So I think that's fine. My only gripe with the Panthers one is there's like 3 different shades of either yellow, brown, or beige on there. Like the stripes are bright yellow, the cat is like tan, and then the gloves are like that weird throwback fake brown, which I don't necessarily love when non-old-timey hockey teams do that. I get why they're doing it. Saw some really funny stuff about this one on Twitter. People were saying the stripes looked like traffic cones, and they were saying because the roads are always under construction in that area. But no, I like that one. I think it looks really cool from the back with the numbers and everything. I think like the hats and stuff that they're wearing in the release pictures are really cool with like the yellow striping all over them. So I think both of these are going to be a home run. I think, like you said, every Panthers fan is going to buy one of these, especially those that have come around in the last, 5 to 6 years. But I think this event is a home run because there's going to be just as many Rangers fans at this game as there are Panthers fans because they all live down there anyways.
Yes, especially that time of year. Right. No, I've heard so many buddies here in the city saying that they're going to the game and stuff. Like, yeah. I think it is going to be a lot of Ranger fans in that cream jersey down there.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't blame them. I would go too. It looks pretty sweet. Final question from the mailbox. This one caught my eye. So one current player in the NHL in a shootout to save your life, who are you choosing?
Mathematically, it's got to be Zegras, I think, what he's doing. But to give you a little more off-the-board pick, a guy that I think is just so silky. He doesn't always put it together in a full 60, but you give him 3-on-3, you give him a power play, you give him a shootout. I'll take Kent Johnson out there any day of the week.
Oh, that's a good one. His move the other night was unbelievable.
Nasty, dude. The way that he just opens his hips and turns around, like even, like I say, 3-on-3 or on a power play, like he's doing mohawk turns in the corner trying to come out and find somebody far side, and then he'll just feather a little backhand sauce. Like he has so much skill. You know he's a guy that trains with Bedard in the summers. Like I think that guy is not even close to scratching his potential yet, but I would take him in the shootout for sure.
Totally agree. I think if he gets into a situation where Columbus either gets a little bit better and he's got consistent someone feeding him the puck, or he goes somewhere else, I think he's totally going to explode. I wrestled with this one for a while. If this was all time, I think you and I, instantly know who we're choosing. But if it's current players, it's a little more challenging. I know the Zegras thing on paper, you're going to say that. I got to go Caulfield. Just like you said, same thing about Kent Johnson. Give him open space, give him time to use his hands, whether it's 3-on-3 or shootout. I would put all my trust in that guy to score when it mattered the most.
Yeah, I like that choice too. And man, shootouts are funny because like Ovechkin doesn't like breakaways. Brett Hull always said he doesn't like breakaways. Gretzky always said he doesn't like breakaways or shootouts. Like it is such an interestingly different skill set. But yeah, you can't go wrong with Cole Caulfield, Kent Johnson, Trevor Zegras, or of course our man in red, 13.
Yeah, I mean, talk about the best to ever do it. Maybe
can't really go wrong.
Yeah, good point. Or Matt Hendricks. Let's not forget the paralyzer move.
Got the best fourth line center money could buy in like NHL 14.
That's exactly what you do. That's how you start your franchise mode, and then you trade away all your first round draft picks to get your studs.
To get the next Matt Hendricks.
Exactly. Let's do a way too early Hart Trophy race. So the odds for this are as follows. Nathan MacKinnon is out front. He is plus 165. McDavid just behind at plus 185. And then it's a big jump up to Eichel and Kaprizov, who are plus 1,300 and plus 1,500. Who is your favorite right now for the Hart Trophy?
I would be hard-pressed to argue with McKinnon, but a guy that you didn't mention there that would probably be second for me is Cale Makar.
It's a good one.
I think as a D-man, he's got, 25 points already. He's had a phenomenal start to the season. Obviously, you think of Colorado, you think of the Nate Dogg, but watching them play, man, Cale Makar just impacts the game in so many ways. Makar might be the guy that I give it to if I'm looking for a little bit of sprinkle money there.
I like that. He's currently sitting at plus 2,500, so those odds are fantastic. I mean, if you're going to throw a little future on someone, I would do it now. It's tough because after Kaprizov, they've got Bedard and Celebrini, and both of those guys are plus 1,700, and I would love nothing more than to ride.
Above Makar?
They are above Makar right now.
Disagree with that, bookies.
That's according to our DraftKings Sportsbook. Yeah.
Sorry.
I also disagree with that. I would love nothing more than to back one of those guys to do it. I just don't think they are. I think it's either going to be Nate Dogg or Connor like we've seen in recent years. So I'd have to probably back one of those guys, but I agree. Makar at plus 2,500 or Draisaitl at plus 3,000. I mean, if he starts to pick it up, who knows? But yeah, I think either of those are home run picks.
Yeah, I would take either of those. I think they're right in the mix. And dude, I mean, a lot of good seasons. Like, boy, it pays to have a high overall pick, eh?
Yeah, seriously.
McKinnon, McDavid, Celebrini, Bedard, Draisaitl, Makar, all guys that we just named, all top 4 picks of the last 10, 12 years. Like, geez, if you want to tank Toronto, do it up.
Seriously. Let's go ahead and do a little college recap. So, good week for my Spartans. Gotta love that. Big matchup in Notre Dame. I don't know if you got to see any of those games, but Augie looks fantastic again. Martone, 3 goals on the weekend. Game winner on both nights. That top line with him, Russell, and Stramel is just fantastic to watch. And then I think we're now starting to see not only the emergence of Caden Lindstrom, who's picking it up, but Riker Lee is really starting to put together some awesome looks. The hands are unbelievable. This guy's busting out ball hockey moves against one of the better defensive teams in the country. So loving what I'm seeing there.
Yeah, no, they've been fun to watch. They're playing a team game, like we said. Martone he's been awesome. I know the points aren't as high as some other guys around college hockey, but for me, 7-7 in 10 games is no joke for a first-year college player. And honestly, I think the best thing I can say about them, dude, plus minus isn't a big stat anymore, right? Every player on their team is a plus right now. They don't have a dash. That is the marker of a good, deep hockey team, in my opinion. They've been fun to watch, and that was a great weekend for them yet again.
Definitely. I think they're never going to be that kind of school that puts up the BC or BU level of points. It's just the way they play, like you mentioned. I mean, they're big, they're solid, they're going to clog things up. They'll get their goals when they need to, and that's kind of just the MO for, their sports teams in general. Basketball had a big win against Kentucky last night, and they just out-rebounded the heck out of them. I mean, 3-point shooting woke up, but just prototypical Michigan State, just like put your hard hat on, lock in, and go to work kind of lunch pail hockey.
100%. And every single guy on the team, other than Riker Lee, who we're praising for other reasons, every single guy on the team has at least a block shot this year.
Yes.
Again, just MSU, baby. That's what we do.
Love that. Other big news from the weekend, Michigan and Penn State split their series. Big Ten really starting to pick things up in the top 10 standings there. Those two teams, Sparty. I know Wisconsin is coming, so definitely keep your eyes out for those games. And love the fact that I was able to watch the Sparty games on Peacock. Shout out, Notre Dame is good for those two matchups every year, so thank you, Notre Dame, for that.
Yeah, 100%. No, a lot of good teams right now, a lot of good hockey being played. I kind of like what I'm seeing out of Duluth these days.
Yeah.
Penn State, like you said, split. I think they still have more to give. Western Michigan, Quinnipiac, don't sleep on them. The college hockey's in a damn good place.
It really is. And then there's all those teams that once you just get to either the Big Ten tournament or the NCAA tournament, you can never count out. And for me, that's always Minnesota. Any Bob Motzko team, as soon as they get to the tournament, they just start playing the best hockey of their season.
Yeah, if they have him, they have a chance. We'll put it that way.
Exactly. Quick trivia for you, and then we can wrap up. We were mentioning the Hart Trophy race. Can you name, let's see how far back you can go year by year, starting with 2025 of Hart Trophy winners?
No idea. This is going to be terrible.
I believe in you.
McDavid last year?
It's actually Hellebuck.
Last year was Hellebuck. See, dude, I'm terrible at this. I have no idea what the Hart.
And same, I'm now looking at this list. It's actually surprising to me too. Do you have any idea for 2024?
I feel like just keep throwing out McDavid isn't a bad guess, but I have no idea.
It's not. It was Nate Dogg. McDavid in 23, Matthews in 22, McDavid again in 21, and then Draisaitl in 20.
Jeez, yeah, Matthews in 22 was the only one that I would have 100% got, and that's for obvious reasons.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense. It's funny looking back at this list. Like Taylor Hall in 18 always makes me laugh. I mean, he had a great year, but that's not what I think of when I think of Taylor Hall. I still think Oilers, or even before that, Windsor Spitfires. But yeah, he was unbelievable, man.
Dude, what a letdown on the trivia response, huh?
Not a problem, man. I wouldn't have gotten that if you asked me that, so don't feel bad at all. But anything else?
Excuse my mind, I guess.
Anything else before we wrap up here?
No, dude. I think that's all. Great week for hockey. Great week for your boys in green there. Not a great week for my boys in blue. So appreciate you having me on, and let's hope the old Leafers can turn it around here soon.
Definitely. Hopefully. We'll see. Caps have the Oilers tonight. That's going to go one of 3 ways. So can't wait to figure out which team shows up tonight. But guys, thanks again for listening. Make sure you're liked and subscribed to not only our channels on social media and YouTube, but Nick's at Working in Hockey as well. We really appreciate it. And we will catch you in the next episode.